What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. This week, I am starting the show off different because it is a insanely special episode of the Virzi Effect. I am down here in Tampa, Florida, with a guest that is, it's amazing that I got him on the show, and I'm so thrilled about it. You guys know that I've had actors and I've had comedians, but now I finally have an athlete on the show, and I love to do my sports segment on the show. I know some of you love it too. Others want me to go on to the unacceptables and all that, but on this episode, I have none other than the crime dog himself, Fred McGriff, former Brave, Ray, Cub, Padre, amazing career. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk a little boxing. I'm just going to shoot the shit with Fred McGriff. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm sitting down here in Tampa. It's going to be an amazing show. I can't wait to let you guys hear this. But first, as always, the Virzi Effect has to shout out the sponsors and, my favorite new sponsor, Chassis for Men, everybody. That's right, you guys have heard me ranting and raving about Chassis for Men because undercarriage? I don't know, whatever it is, however you call a man's down there, mine has never been in better shape. That's right, and my wife appreciates that. It is a fine, amazing powder that you put down. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it this time. On your balls. It's a ball powder. That's what it is. And it's insanely dry. And it's insanely safe. There's no aluminum, parabens, talc, nothing bad, no menthol. This is an all-natural product that goes down there and it will make you feel dry and incredible. It'll keep you from odor and chafing and all of that awful stuff that you don't want. It's incredible. They also have an extreme cream. They have the premium powder. And they have the 5-in-1 shower primer. It just softens the hair. It makes you fresh, smell good, and it is probably one of the best products that I've ever used after a shower. And that's why they are a sponsor, because I was not going to use something, especially that I put on my balls. Think about that. Like, I'm not going to put something on my balls, right, that doesn't work and then talk about it. Like, I'm just not going to do that because now I got irritated, awful balls, and I'm not going to just take the money and do that. That's not the type of person I am. No, my balls are fresh and happy, and so am I. And that's why I talk about Chassis for Men. And people are coming at me because of this product saying that the way that I talk about it, they love it. And I actually had somebody, I'm not even making this up, had a fan call and say, Paul, thank you for shouting out Chassis because my balls have never been fresher. So there you have it, fellas. Are you going to walk around with not the freshest balls possible when there's a product that can make them that? Then that's on you, okay? You're the one that has to sleep at night, not me, okay? Because I'm sleeping at night with fresh, soft, smelling good balls. And you are half-stepping. So that's on you, and whoever you're with has to deal with it. Because I use Chassis for Men. Man care for down there. And as I said last time, everybody, the ball game is over. They did it. They did it. Okay, so there you go. That's it. I'm going to get into this amazing interview with the one and only Fred McGriff, who, by the way, I'm going to talk to him about this too. He hit a home run at Yankee Stadium that I think is still going. Awesome. So enjoy it. Sit back, relax. Thrilled to have you guys for this installment of a very special week of the Virzi Effect podcast. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and today is Wednesday, July 12th, 2017, and you guys are listening to a very special episode 316. Now, look, I've had amazing people on my show. I've been doing this comedy podcast coming up on 7 years. I've had actors, I've had comedians, but today is a showstopper. I have somebody that is in my opinion, one of the greatest baseball players ever. Wish he played for my beloved New York Yankees, because I know what he did when he got to that stadium. But ladies and gentlemen, special guest, Fred McGriff, the crime dog himself, is on the Virzi Effect. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Very good. Paul, it's a pleasure to be here. But let me first start by saying, okay, Paul, you got to do your homework, all right? Because you're sitting here and you got a Yankees hat on, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I don't have much love for the Yankees. You know what I mean? And so,
I know.
So that's arch enemy number one. So
is that number one for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Because, in 1996, we played the Yankees in the World Series.
Yes.
And
you were beating us up the first two games.
First two games. I hit a couple of home runs. I was rolling, dude. Mark Wallace threw that pitch.
You and Andrew Jones, right?
Yep.
Andrew Jones was like 18. Was he like 18 years old?
Kid.
And he hit, but you guys beat us like 11-1 in one of those.
Rolling. And then game 3 in Atlanta, because we're going back to Atlanta like, yes, we'd have won the first 2 games in New York.
Yeah.
Things are good.
Yeah.
And then it was a play down in right field that people forget, but the umpire got in the way of Jermaine Dye, who later played for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, I remember him, yeah.
It was a foul ball hit. The umpire got in the way. The ball dropped for a foul. It was a foul ball. It was Jeter hitting. Next hit, he gets a bloop single or something like that. But anyway, long story short, Jim Lehrer ends up hitting a home run.
I remember that.
Late in the game.
Yeah.
That changed the whole series.
When Lehrer hit that home run.
They beat us 4 straight.
Yes.
So it ain't too much love right now. That little NY hat you got on, dude.
So let me ask you a question. In all the time you were in the league, because I know you played for the Cubs, you played for the Padres. I know you played for Tampa, and you're from down here. Was there ever a time where there were ever talks with the GM from the Yankees, or was there ever a time where you didn't know maybe I will end up in pinstripes, or no?
Yeah, it was a while. Well, think about it. Originally, I was drafted by the Yankees. I was drafted out of high school in I ain't gonna say what year, but no, by the Yankees, 1981 by the Yankees, and so I played 2 years of rookie ball, and then my first year of rookie ball, it was a guy named Billy Williams who the Yankees drafted first, right? That same year,
okay.
I was drafted in the 9th round. He was drafted in the 1st round. So of course, 1st round pick, he's gonna play all the time. So he played all the time my first year.
Yeah,
I probably got 70 or 80 at bats. I'm not even sure, it's been so long ago.
Yeah.
So he played. So the next year, I repeated rookie ball again.
Okay.
Down in Bradenton, Florida, and so forth. Right. And then I killed the Blue Jays. That season, the short season, 60 games. I killed the Blue Jays. They ended up trading for me.
Yeah.
They traded for me.
Oh,
so that's how I became a Blue Jay. Ended up getting to the big leagues with the Blue Jays.
So you got to have a little love for the Yankees for drafting you, right?
Right. Little because
I mean, it gave you a shot, right?
There's special. My coaches were Joe Pepitone and Mickey Vernon back in the day, and they were awesome.
Oh, okay.
So he taught me how to play the game. A guy named Ed Napoleon. I still tell people today, this guy just every morning he was like, "Hey Fred, let's go get our ground balls." He would take a fungo bat, stand at shortstop, take a fungo bat, and hit me one hoppers at first base and wanted me to pick the balls out of the dirt and everything. And so this guy he was awesome to me. He took it on his own, like, "Okay, Fred, we're gonna work at first base and da. And so those 3 coaches were awesome.
So I did some homework on you. I was actually watched you. I was watched you hit bombs, and big time too. Like even when the announcer would go, your first at bat in Atlanta when they said welcome to Atlanta. You went to center field. I remember that was crazy. But you hit a home run in Yankee Stadium. I was saying to somebody, you, Griffey, and Bonds were the only people that reached apart. I'm sure you remember you hit one. Not only was it in the upper deck. It was the second part of the upper deck, and I'm thinking to myself, because I saw Bonds his first game at Yankee Stadium, and he hit it on a Friday night foul, but it was the highest thing I've ever seen. And then Saturday I didn't go, and he got one fair. You hit one up there. I was just like, that was crazy. Do you know who that pitcher was?
Oh, yeah. Dave LaPointe. Yeah,
okay, of course you do.
Dave LaPointe was maybe the second night, but the first night was Rick Roden. Right,
Roden. Yeah.
And the thing about that, I see Rick Roden here and there from golf tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, yes, kind you got me on that one. No, but it was awesome because at the time I'm just breaking into the league.
Yeah.
Okay, now you go to New York, the Big Apple. Whatever you do in New York is like huge.
Yeah.
So I hit that home run up in the upper deck, and it was on Monday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
And so everybody across the country they saw it. And for me inside me it was like, okay, Fred, you can play this game. You can play up in the big leagues. You can.
Wow.
You can handle this, and so it was awesome.
Did you guys feel like, or is this just kind of like a BS mystique, or when you guys showed up to Yankee Stadium, was it like was there a little extra thing going on in the clubhouse, like when you guys were like, this is Yankee Stadium, or to you it was just business as? Is that just me being a Yankee fan thinking that it's some special thing, or did players go in there like that? I mean, I know the Red Sox did just because of the rivalry, but did you guys have that or not really?
Oh yeah, especially when it's your first time going in there.
Yeah.
The first time's special, and for me, I grew up here in Tampa, Florida, born and raised here in Tampa, down south. So back in the day, we stayed down in Manhattan. There was a team hotel was in Manhattan. So now you driving from Manhattan to the Bronx.
Yeah.
Go to Stinging Stadium, right?
Yeah.
And here I am, being from Florida. Like, man, like they've already taught. They always told me about the Bronx, but wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, dang, for kids to make it out of the Bronx,
Yeah.
is like awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make it out of the Bronx,
Yeah.
life is a breeze.
Yeah. After that, it's only up.
No, so we driving through the Bronx, and then finally you're getting into Yankee Stadium and all the history and mystique and the great Yankees team. I mean, you can argue the Yankees may be the greatest franchise ever as far as, you know, the world championships and stuff like that. So to walk in there,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
That's got to be like when you hit that home run there and you're rounding the bases, you got to be like, I just did that at Yankee Stadium. And you know all the fans. The thing about New York fans is they appreciate. Although I'll say
They're
this.
very knowledgeable.
What's that?
Yankee fan is very knowledgeable.
Yeah, the one thing about New York fans I'll say is, and it bothers me about New York fans is, New York fans, as much as I love them, I'm a New York fan, they want, because I think the winning with the Yankees, they want a lot, and they want a lot. Like Patrick Ewing was not appreciated by the New York Yankee fans by the New York Knicks fans until he retired. And that's still, and he knows it, because when he came there, he said, when his banner came down, he said, you know, you guys didn't appreciate me, you didn't know what you had, and I didn't know what I had. And it's like, because I think he never got one, and that kills me, because I'm a diehard Knicks. I'm a Knicks, you know, Giants, Yankees, and just growing up in New York.
If you're a Knicks fan, what's going on now?
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, they're bad.
It's bad. It's bad. And Phil got out of there, and it's tough. Like being a Knicks fan right now is like, I feel like I know what Jet and Met fans go through. Like that's my problem child. Like I got 3 kids. The Yankees, they always, the Yankees are the Yankees, the Giants are the Giants. The Knicks are my problem child. But I wanted to ask you, because this is, I know you hear all kinds of stupid things about numbers and shit. I don't want to ask that. I want to ask you some fun stuff. What's the funniest thing a catcher ever said to you when you were in the box? Do you have any idea? Like, I know there must be some funny things, but there's got to be something where, like, there's a funny catcher, or he'll just say something that makes you want to smile, or were they all, or was none of them like that?
No, the best will go down is, I guess I'll say it, and Mike Heath.
Okay.
But Mike Heath grew up over in Brandon, not far outside of Tampa. But anyway, he went to Hillsborough High School, and I went to Jefferson. And he was a great player and everything. And he had been up in the big leagues for a while. But I used to kill the Detroit Tigers. I mean, every time I faced them, I would just kill them, right? So Heath was catching, and he's like, man, we just can't get you out. So I'm just going to tell you what's coming.
Is that right?
Yeah, so he'd be like,
oh, that's great.
Fastball. Like that. And I'm thinking, okay, I know he's joking with me. I done known him for a whole lot of years. So he's just joking, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he threw a fastball for real.
He threw a fastball. Oh my God, that's great. And the other thing, somebody was like, "What did they talk about first base?" At first base, when the guy gets there, you guys just talk about, hey, what's going on? How you doing? How's the family? Is that
no question?
That's just okay.
To me, baseball is more of a fraternity. You have no love for the pitchers because you got to face those guys
right
every single night on the mound. So you don't have no love for them. But for the position players, they come to first, and it's like, "What's up, dude? Where's a good place to go golfing at?" Let's, here and there, everything. And the best is the worst really is the umpires, because each series a team has you got the 4 umpires on the field, okay, and they stink and rotate, every night. So the guy that's umpiring first tonight, he's gonna be behind the plate tomorrow. And so rotate. So now. You over there talking to this umpire the night before and like, "What's up, man? How's your family? How's life?" And the next night, he's behind home plate, and now those close pitchers, free. You're like,
what happened about yesterday?
Dude, last night we were just talking, dude.
Oh, that's great.
We were tight, dude. You can't get on them.
You said something about pitchers. I just watched this documentary. You probably saw it. I just watched it recently. I watched Fastball. You see Fastball?
Mm-hmm.
Fastball is a documentary out right now, and I think it came out. They made it before because some people that aren't around anymore were in it. But it was basically about how the fastball just has evolved, and now it's capped off, because now it's like the human body can only get so much. So they were talking about like in track, Jesse Owens. When Jesse Owens ran that, like in the Olympics, that was like high school to now. And then now Usain Bolt, it's just like the comparison's crazy. But they're talking about how the fastball, so you got Aroldis Chapman, 105.1. Then they said that they tried back then to clock Walter Johnson. They tried to clock, they clocked Nolan Ryan and all these people. And it was just fascinating on how Goose Gossage, they were talking about how like batters know it's coming, and he would just come up to them, and then they would be like, and then the next one would come Randy Johnson with Kruk in that All-Star game. So I guess two questions is nastiest fastball you ever seen, but who's the best? Who's the most difficult pitcher you ever faced as far as just stuff? Like where you knew when you got in the box it was going to be a battle and you were kind of like, this is going to be really, really tough?
Well, I'll tell you right now, first off, I think the radar guns are wrong nowadays, because nowadays they throwing 100 miles an hour. And sometimes, you're sitting at home and you're like, man, I don't know what I would do, dude. Chapman throwing 100 miles an hour, really?
Yeah.
It's crazy, because back when I was coming up, it was 95, 96. Every blue moon, somebody would throw 100 miles an hour, but nowadays, every time the reliever comes in, 101, 99, and I'm like, are you crazy? This is crazy. This is ridiculous.
And it makes you wonder if like they're trying to, because when you see like 103, because you're seeing 103, 105, makes you think if, I agree with you, like that's kind of, something's fishy.
Yeah, I think some of those radar guns are a little off, and they want them, I think maybe for the fans.
I think so.
Like, let's make this gun a little faster or something like that.
Well, Tony Gwynn, rest his soul, Tony Gwynn said, he goes, when I played, he goes, 2 guys threw 99. He said something like, he said, but now, it's like now every bullpen has a guy that can come in and do that.
It's unbelievable. Paul, put it this way, okay? If I ask you why you stopped playing baseball, what would you tell me?
If I ask you
why you stopped playing baseball?
Because I got old, I got hurt.
Okay, but most people, the average person will tell you it was a curveball in high school, or they got hit with a ball or something like that. So
I see what you're saying.
Fear plays a big old part. So in baseball, the pitcher that has a smooth wind up and all this and that, he gets hit. But it's that guy who's effectively wild with the funky wind up.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that win ball games, because you go up to hit, and like you take for instance Randy Johnson. Okay, Randy Johnson, to me, he was the toughest.
Yeah.
Because I was a left-handed hitter, and he's left-handed. Okay, and he has a slider. He's standing like 6'10", and he's like right on top of you. And he has a slider that's breaking away from you. And all my life, you see more right-handed pitchers than you see left-handed pitchers. So I'm always used to the ball coming into me and everything. So now you're facing the lefty, and the ball's going away, and your brain is telling you, okay, Fred, don't let this dude hit you, in the head. Not tonight. You're not going to the hospital tonight. so hey, but you're on TV. So now you're like, okay, you got everybody watching. You can't play like you're scared. So a lot of times when guys are hitting, they're a little scared.
They're scared.
But they don't want to say it, right? So they don't want to, you can't go, oh, yeah, I'm scared. Then everybody be all over you, right? So you face Randy Johnson, you're like, okay, I don't want to strike out 4 times tonight. If I can I got to put this ball in play some kind of way. So like you put it in play, and if you hit a ground ball to the second baseman, you laugh, and going out running down the first base, you laughing like, yeah, I made a contact, that's good for me, you just keep running hard, because everybody watching, right?
And in your mind you're like, whoo, that guy. Well, Goose Gossage said, he goes, when I came in, he goes, I'd look at the batter, and he goes, and I'm just saying, I'm glad I'm not him right now. That's what he said. He goes, because I'm coming, I'm throwing, and
I tell people, like Nolan Ryan. I used to laugh because Nolan Ryan, he'll be on the mound, and before he throws that first pitch, he will walk between the grass and home plate. He will walk in the grass, right? And so basically, he's telling the team, like, he's telling those guys, don't try to bunt on me. Don't bunt on me.
That real?
Stuff like that. Or if you got a hit, Nolan's staring you down at first base. He's staring down.
So his fear's a big part of this.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys are faking. Like, I always laugh. Like, okay, if I was commissioner for a day, you know what I do? I'll take all that arm guard off, guys. I'll take that elbow guard off, the shin guard off. I'll take all that stuff
that protection,
off. Yeah, because these guys, they got all this arm guard off. They got everything on, right? And they try to play all tough, like, look at me. I'm real tough. Man, take this guard off. Let me see how tough you are with this old arm guard.
Yeah.
Get right on top of the plate. Like, come on. Throw it in there.
Yeah, because you got a little pad.
All you're going to do is take one off the pad and run down to first base. like I'm a tough guy. If you're really a tough guy, take it off. Dude.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm sitting here with Fred McGriff, the crime dog on the Virzi Effect. This is amazing, man. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Big home runs, big time first baseman, amazing numbers. Now, out of all the clubhouses you were in, you were because you finished in Tampa.
In Tampa.
You finished in Tampa. Okay, but you were where were you like? Did you feel like you were the most comfortable? Like the longest? Like
Well,
I don't want you to piss people off.
No, I'm most comfortable when I win a lot of ball games. And when you're winning,
yeah.
So Atlanta, because we used to win all the time. I had
95. You won a you won a World Series in 95, and
won
then
95, lost in 96. So I had good teammates. I had good. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing when you got good teammates.
yeah, and you had a lot of amazing pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, you had
Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
Deion was
Deion.
awesome. Hey,
Oh, that's right.
Glavine and Maddox and Smoltz. Yeah, but Deion was awesome.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
love Deion.
Yeah,
Deion's a funny cat.
He played for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Played for the Reds. Right? Didn't he play for the Cincinnati Reds?
Yeah.
He played for the Reds. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Were you a multi-sport guy?
No, just growing up here in Tampa. I think because most of the teams back in the day used to have spring training in Florida. You grew up wanting to play baseball. Our Little League programs were very successful. Belmont Heights Little League, they've been to the Little League World Series a couple of years. And
Yeah.
I grew up, played over in West Tampa Little League. We had some good teams, but we couldn't beat Belmont Heights. You know, Belmont Heights was like Garrett Sheffield, Dwight Gooden, all those guys.
Oh, so you played against them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Sheffield's from Tampa?
Yeah. Gooden, Sheffield.
Oh.
The Yankee great Tino Martinez and Dave Magadan, the Mets.
Oh, yeah.
All those guys are from Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs? Oh, yeah, because he finished. Wade Boggs played for the Rays, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those guys are here.
Yeah. Oh, man. There's a lot of. Yeah, because they were talking about how Aaron Judge was a wide receiver, kind of like Dave Winfield. Like what Dave Winfield could go get drafted by three teams.
I got a great Aaron Judge story.
Oh,
Okay.
let's.
So, I was doing some work with the Blue Jays back then, and so I went to the MLB draft the year he got drafted, right? And so they try to invite kids to go to Secaucus to the MLB network for the draft, right? And so it was only like 6 or 7 guys, okay? And so I'm there, and the draft starts, and I'm hearing all these different names, and I'm seeing this big old boy, just sit there in the dugout. If I recall, I think he had his parents there or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this big old guy there, big giant, 6'6", 6'7" guy, whatever. And teams are drafting, he's getting around to like the 20th pick and stuff like that. And he's still just over there because by now he's almost like the last one in there because usually the other kids that they've been drafted. And so he's just over there sitting. And I'm saying to myself, how in the world these teams are passing on this stinking kid?
Yeah.
You can work with somebody like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and the whole thing with Judge is, you see a kid like that and it's like, man, if I can just get him to cut down on the strikeouts, I got a monster.
Yeah.
If I can do it. But I just saw these teams passing on.
Passing on,
and
yeah.
then finally, I think 25th or 26th pick or something, the Yankees drafted him.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And that I think I have a theory. This is my theory. If you notice a lot of people, well, now listen, there are some greats that go early, but Aaron Rodgers, right? Tom Brady, 6th round. Aaron Rodgers supposed to be early pick. He went 28, just sitting there in the green room with his mom, getting humiliated with the camera on him. Says he thinks about that when he goes out to play for the Packers now. I think a lot of guys that when that happens, they're like, I think they don't get lazy, and I think that money doesn't change because I think guys get changed with money. I think sometimes, not always, but I mean, in the NBA you could see it. Guy gets a contract and you're like, he's comfortable now. He's got his last 7 years where he wants to be. But I feel like these guys, like Judge is a nice guy, quiet guy, but you can see because they asked him, they go, you could play wide receiver. You were a great wide receiver. They said you were great at basketball. Why'd you choose baseball? You know what his answer was? His answer was, the chess match between the pitcher and the batter was something that I really liked. And so the fact that all these teams went past him, like you just said, I think when he goes in there now, I've been to a couple games this year, and what they do is, one thing I noticed about him, first pitch strike, he's in trouble. But when I know, first pitch strike, listen, I'm not, you're a scout, which I wanted to ask you about too, but I noticed when I watch him now, because he's got 30 home runs, he's batting .330, he's got 66 RBIs at the break, which is crazy. But I noticed when the pitcher goes outside the first couple and they trying to dance around him, that's when he does damage. But the pitcher that goes right at him and gets him 0-1, I think that's when I noticed. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just something
maybe you should be a scout.
Yeah. So yeah, you're doing it.
No, but I agree. But the only thing what I see with Judge is that I think because like I looked at his numbers today, So he has 109 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Okay, so pitchers keep challenging because they're like, dude, I know he has 30 home runs, but he also got 109 strikeouts. So I know if I make my pitches, I can strike him out. So that's why they still just keeps challenging because sometimes you're like, come on, dude, don't let this guy, beat you.
Right. Why are kids not? Is it the speed of the game that kids aren't getting into baseball as much? Is it because when you see like Odell Beckham, running around catching balls with one hand and it's just fast, or the NBA is alley-oop dunk and LeBron running down and is that what do you think? Because they say kids are seeing that. And then you watch a baseball game, which could go 4 hours, and the pitcher, talking to the catcher and spitting and walking around, and you're sitting there sometimes falling asleep. Is that what it is, or what do you think it is?
No, let's be real, Paul. Okay, and so you got some young kids right now, but what you will experience, okay, when your sons start playing travel ball.
Yeah.
Okay, travel ball gonna cost $2,000, $3,000, or whatever. Let's be real.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so everybody can't afford to pay $2,500, $3,000 so their son can play on these travel ball teams, because nowadays it's all gone AAU, the perfect game, USA baseball. It's all going that way. And so you got to have some money if your kids want to play. And if not, and it's like, because with basketball, you take basketball, find me a goal somewhere. If just one kid has a basketball, we can go play. If we find us a court with a rim, net, no net, whatever, you can play.
Yeah.
Baseball, you got to go try to find, 3 or 4 other guys, 5 other guys.
It's hard. Yeah.
You got to have a glove, bat, ball.
You got to find the field that's vacant. You got to do all that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because but my son now he's in because I think, and I do think that you need the new crop of guys because the Yankees had the core 4, right? Had Posada, Jeter, Mariano. Mariano was. You face Mariano?
Mm-hmm.
How that man, to me, I've never seen in my life. I've never seen somebody robotic. It was almost like putting it in a pitching machine. How great to me it was like watching him come out. It was just amazing. He was just amazing. He just the mechanics was flawless, and it's funny because you see him in the bullpen trying to show the guys how to throw the cutter.
Yeah.
And I just think his body and his mechanics was made for that pitch because other guys tried throwing it like him and it didn't do.
I remember this, okay. Rivera, first he started as a starting pitcher at first, and then they put him in the bullpen. And that one pitch is an awesome pitch. That cutter, it's a great pitch. And when you really start breaking down hitting, okay, you got less than 1 second to decide if you're going to swing or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so
crazy.
The cutter, it looks like it's going to be right down the middle of the plate, and so your brain tells you to get ready to swing in one spot, and then it cuts back into you. Being left-handed, it cuts back into you. So now, if you hit it good, you're going to get jammed. If you keep it fair, you're going to get jammed. If you hit it good, it's going to go foul. So it's a great pitch going. But the thing about it, Rivera, he just came in for 1 inning. You just saw him for 1 inning.
Right.
But nowadays you got starting pitchers who try to throw cutters and stuff like that. And like you say, it ain't the same.
No.
And if I get to see that cutter over and over for 2 or 3 at bats, he gonna leave some balls over the plate. But Rivera coming in for just 1 inning, he would just blow guys away.
That's what. Okay.
And then one thing the Red Sox started hitting him because instead of hitting left-handed hitters against him, they would pinch hit right-handed hitters against him, and that kind of helped a little bit. And the Red Sox got a hold of him a few times, but he's awesome.
I'll tell you a story that I'm ashamed of. I'm ashamed of this story, but I have to tell you. I have to, because I'm sitting here. I gotta do it. I performed in Boston, and I was opening up for the great Bill Burr, one of the best comics out there. I was opening for him, and the people from Fenway Park and the top people from Fenway Park said, why don't you guys come? They came to the show. They came back and said, why don't you guys come to Fenway? There's going to be nobody there. You just have you go up on the monster, do everything. So I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm like, the people were so nice. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. So I go there, and they're just showing us, and I'm walking, I'm seeing how small. I'm actually seeing how small the field. I couldn't believe, like on TV, it's just, because that was one play, I always go to Yankee Stadium, but that was like really, no foul territory. Right. So it was right there, and I'm walking, and I'm just doing it, I'm going to the clubhouse, and they take us inside, and they start seeing trophy cases. Now I start getting a little, now I start to feel the Yankees. I start to feel my loyalty. And I see 3 World Series trophies, and there was 3 of us. And she goes, oh, great. I mean, and here's my problem. I'm too nice of a guy, so I can't. And she was being so hospitable. So that's how I grew up. If you treat me nice, I'm gonna, so she's going, oh, great. You know what? We'll take the trophies out. You guys take up. There's 3 trophies and 3 of you. And I'm going like, oh man, like I'm a Yankee fan. and I'm like, so luckily they hand the one that they came back on us 03. They hand that to my friend, thank God. Then they hand another one. The one they handed to me was one where the Yankees didn't even make the playoffs, so it wasn't really that bad. And I took the picture, and I just said to my friend, you gotta. He goes, I can't believe you did that. I go, she was too nice. Like, I didn't like smile like, oh, look, but it was still. So I said, you have to delete that. And still to this day, I have to tell that story just to let people know I'm a Yankee fan. And I always call myself out on it, but it hurts.
And also, you know what got me? I think baseball has killed that rivalry. It's still a good rivalry.
Yes.
But back in the day when they only played like 12 times a year, or whatever, it was great. And now they play 19 times a year. They play so many times. Every time you look around, it's Yankees against Red Sox, Yankees against Red Sox, and they've killed it a little bit because it was a great rivalry. Now it's kind of like.
I think when they got us, I don't think it's there anymore. I think the rivalry was taken away once they kind of got us because we had that from them. Like those 1918 chants, and we had that. And then once that was tough when we were up 3-0, and then they came back 4 in a row, and we just ran out of days. This is amazing. I'm sitting here, Virzi Effect podcast with the crime dog himself, Fred McGriff. I'm going to talk about what brought us here together. Chassis for Men, this unbelievable powder, Man Care for down there. Which was weird as a grown man saying that the first time I did it, but it's a great company. I use the product, and you did a video with Kenny Mayne for them, which is like almost like a parody of your old school Tom Amansky thing. Which, by the way, as great as that was, I didn't know you, but that interrupted so many. They played that thing on ESPN do people still ever talk about that with you?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, because this is like automatic every single night.
Every night.
Every night. Like for me, I'm warming up, getting ready for a game, and so usually I get up, get dressed or whatever, but I got to go into the training room, either stretching, get worked on or something like that, getting ready for a game. And so I'm on the training table, and every single time, here come on ESPN, here come that sticking commercial, and here come all the guys.
Oh, they bust your chops?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I tell the trainers, like, all right, let's wrap it up. I got to get out of here.
They played that a ton, but then I saw the one you did with Chassis for Kenny Mayne, and that was how great of a guy is Kenny Mayne?
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah?
To a certain extent, I love him.
Yeah. He's a Seattle guy, right?
Yeah, he was in New York, but that's where I originally met him up in New York.
Oh, okay.
So, but I mean, I'm telling you, Chassis is guaranteed to get results. If you use it properly.
I tell people, I said, look, this product is amazing, and I got so passionate about the product that stand-up fans who bought my album were like, man, the way you talked about it, like I had to try it. Like I've never been this fresh before. And it's like it's a weird thing, but it's an amazing product. And I thought the video that you did was great. People definitely have to see that. Thank you so much for being here. But I want to ask you one question. McGregor, Floyd Mayweather Jr., will you waste your time / money to watch that fight? Or
you want an honest answer?
Yeah. No, you ain't watching. No, you ain't gonna watch it. Yeah. You know what they get? You know what boxing does? Boxing gets you with the pro. No, listen. I know what it is. I'm not. But listen, there's just something about the spectacle where it's like, because I get into arguments with people. They're like, I'm not wasting my money on that. You know what it is. But then I'm going, why? It's fun. Like, why not? Listen, I know. Listen, they're gonna charge $100. I heard Floyd's making $220. $220 million for it. I think McGregor's going to clear $100 for it. So they're going to make over $300 million for it.
Like I was watching the highlights on TV this morning, and then they had a little promo for the upcoming fight and everything, and I'm telling myself, I know these two are just getting ready to get into it on TV because they got to promote this. They got to promote the fight. Yeah. And so, words are being spoken right here. They're talking about each other. Yeah. Mayweather's saying this and everything. And I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah, they're friends. They called each other and said, let's do this. Yeah. But I think I actually lied to myself. I said it was a waste. I'm watching it. Yeah, I have to watch it.
Right.
I have to watch it. Like, why? I look at it like this. Why not? It's fun. It's America. Why not? I'm going to put it on. I'm going to probably be pissed I spent a hundo on it. You know, whatever it's going to be.
Hey, that's like watching Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was the worst, dude. You know, you pay for his fights and everything.
Oh, remember
30
when he
seconds
did...
to the fight, knockout.
You know, I performed where he knocked Spinks. So where he knocked Spinks out in 91 seconds. Remember that whole big thing? I think Trump was the promoter. Yeah, that he was like, the thing came down and it was like at Caesars and it was 91 seconds. I got to perform in that room and it's just like this bowl of like 6,000 and we were in Arturo Gatti, rest his soul. We were in his. So they named the dressing room the Arturo Gatti dressing room, and that was our green room. But it was really cool, and I'm just thinking to myself, the hype for that fight, and that's why boxing is. Do you watch? Are you a boxing guy or no? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, MMA is taking me.
Do you watch MMA? You watch UFC?
Yeah.
Because the best guys fight the best guys. There's an event every 2 months, every month and a half, and boxing's corrupt. And yeah, I wish. Now I'm a Floyd guy.
See, I want to bring back Butterbean. Remember?
Butterbean.
Yeah, Butterbean was awesome, dude.
That was the big dude who just swung for the.
That's what I want to see, dude.
Yeah. Do you think that Mayweather would have been able to fare well against Hearns, against Hagler, against Durant? You think his speed would have, or do you think? Because we got into a big argument. A bunch of comedians. I'll tell you the story. We're sitting at the steakhouse at the Mirage in Vegas, and I'm going, you guys give this guy no. So it's, comedians, and you got to understand, comedians. We it's a lot of arguing because that's almost how we show love. It's just busting each other's chops and everything. So they were like, Floyd couldn't. He would, and my friend's like, Hagler would get him in the corner and destroy him. And the other was like, Thomas Hearns, those guys from thing. And I go, wait a minute though. I go, you guys are acting like this man's and at the time he was like 47-0, and that little dip he does, you can't hit him. His defense is unbelievable. He's one of the fastest boxers of all time. I think Thomas Hearns said it would go the distance. Hagler said he'd beat him up. But I think Floyd is that fast and that technically good that I think he could hang with those guys. I don't think it's fair to say he would get beat up. You know, did you watch any of those guys?
Yeah, but like you said, that's a tough one because even when it comes to baseball, you go back and I'm sure the guys who played in the 60s and 70s, they see these guys now, pictures or whatever. Yeah. Like, I would have killed, Kershaw throwing this and that. I would have killed him or whatever. So, yeah. I mean, it's because we'll never know. Yeah. But you always wonder, like,
you never.
Is today's baseball better than 30, 40 years ago? Or
well, look at the NFL. The NFL fastest clocked 40-yard dash is 4.22. Back then, even when Dion and those guys, it was like Dion and Bo and a couple other people would do that. But like a 4.5 back then, a guy made a team. Now a 4.5, you're not even. Yeah, so it's getting crazier.
Right. So you just don't know. So you don't know if Hearns and those guys could have beat him or not. I mean, you can speculate all day long. I mean, it's great argument, like you say, but
I just think Floyd. I think this is the thing with Floyd, with the Pacquiao fight too. Floyd gets a lot of stuff because it's boring. He wins on points. What he does is he figures you out in the first 2 rounds, and he cracks the code. And then after he cracks the code, he picks you apart. He doesn't knock people out. He's not entertaining. Everyone's like, what did I just pay for? But technically, when you watch how fast he is and good, and to me, that's cool. Like, to me, I'll watch it because I love the art of it. But I get it. Some people want to watch people get knocked out. They want to watch, because that Pacquiao fight was terrible.
And it's similar to, like, Winky Wright, who lives over in St. Pete. Like, I beat up on him on the golf course. But he's always talking noise and everything. So I had to beat up on him. But
Winky, right? Yeah, I saw him in a casino playing dice when Tarver fought Roy Jones.
Yeah. Tarver lives here. Tarver's here too. So those guys are awesome.
Lot of guys down here. This is the last thing I want to ask you about. This is one of the biggest, most passionate arguments I get into with a couple of friends. Pete Rose agreed with me, by the way. I say, and I know you're gonna say, Paul, you're a Yankee fan. I say greatest baseball player to ever live, and just hear me out before, because I can tell already you're going to say no. Babe Ruth, and here's why. Now, my friend's like, he's like, that was a beer league, fat guts, this and that. That guy, here's my argument with Ruth. Not only did he hit monster home runs, not only did he have unbelievable sight, he could pitch. From what I heard, and this is what I heard, so tell me if you heard this too. So then they were like, yeah, but he wasn't playing, because it was diverse. It was the Negro League, and he wasn't playing. So then I heard that he had 55 at-bats with the Negro League All-Stars, and I heard he had like 11 home runs or something, or 55 at-bats. I also heard old teammates saying when he played in the outfield, his arm, people couldn't believe it. He pitched. So my thing was this. Greatest ever just because he kind of helped American sports. He helped build Yankee Stadium because, it was just after the Depression and all that stuff. Pitching, hitting. How many guys could pitch in a World Series? How many guys could pitch in a World Series and then hit a ball 500 feet? Fred, he's got to be the greatest. So my friends are going, well, one of my friends. So two of us agree with me. They asked Pete Rose who he thinks is the best. Pete Rose, here's what Pete Rose said. Best pitcher he ever saw? He said, Sandy Koufax. He goes, the ball went like that. That's what he said. He goes, the ball went like that. And then he said, Babe Ruth's greatest ever. And my friends are going, no, it's just like what we're talking about. It's different times. Guys weren't as fast. Guys didn't throw as hard. But according to this documentary, Walter Johnson, they didn't have the gun to the radar, but he got it up to 100. So, in your opinion, I guess we'll close with this.
Okay.
We'll close with this. I say Ruth of all time as far as overall with what he can do. Who's the greatest ball player you think of all time? And go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We'll do that.
I'm going to say, for you got to do your homework now.
Oh, boy.
And I want you to check out Hank Aaron.
Oh, Hank Aaron. So, but I put Hank Aaron in the top 2, 3 of all time. I really do.
Okay.
I really
think if Hank played in New York,
yeah,
it would be a different story. I think Hank would get so much more. He gets a lot of love, but he would get so much more love.
Hank's
but when you check out his home runs, stolen bases, average, the whole
put
shebang.
You put Hank? You think Hank's number 1?
Yeah, I think.
Do you?
Yeah, I think personally.
What if you played at Yankee Stadium? 314?
I might have hit 600.
314. If you played at Yankee
What about
Stadium?
the new Yankee Stadium?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah. No.
I mean, the power alleys is what, 365 or something? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I like sitting. When you sit at the new Yankee Stadium to watch a ball game, I like it. But walking in, it doesn't have what the first one. First one, so when I first started watching baseball, I was in 2nd grade. There was a dance, and my mother didn't let me go to the dance. Right? She didn't let me go. I don't know. First of all, what kind of I gotta talk to my mother. Why wasn't I able to go to a dance in 2nd grade? She might have had to do something. So I sat down and the NLCS was on, and it was 1986, and it was the Mets and the Astros. And this was when the Mets beat the Red Sox in '86 with the the Buckner and the Mookie Wilson bunt and all that. Yeah. So I remember watching it, and that's all I knew of baseball. So so imagine you're a kid. The first time you turn on baseball, it's the NLCS, and you just happen to watch. So I'm going, oh, the Mets. So my mother's going, we want to take you to your first baseball game. And my stepfather says, well, if you take him to his first baseball game, you know where you got to take him. And I didn't even know about the Yankees because I just watched the Mets. They go, no, you got to take him to Yankee Stadium. So what's the Yankee Stadium? You got to go. So I walk in, and I go through it's all closed off. You can't. Now when you walk in, you see everything when you're getting a hot dog. I kind of don't like that. I like when you walk through, and then the grass opens up, and it's kind of like that's the stage. I would equate it to like when you go into a theater, you're like, oh, I'm going to see that show there. And now you could be getting sushi at Yankee Stadium. It's different. But I remember walking in. The Yankees were terrible in the 80s. That was the worst part of their, every decade they had something. The 80s they didn't. But you know who they had? They had Donnie Baseball. They had 23. And I remember walking in, and I saw Don Mattingly, and that was it. I saw the green grass, I saw Don Mattingly, I saw 23, and that was it. The Mets were no longer in my thought process, and that's what did it. This stadium is definitely, it looks nice. Like I said, when you sit down and you watch a game, it's nice, but it's that whole walking in is part of it.
It's a beautiful place. They've done a great job.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I don't think either of us knew what we were walking into here. Chassis brought us together. It's an amazing product. The video that you guys did is awesome, and we gotta have to share that for sure. Thank you so much.
Awesome,
You're the best, man. You are the best.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for being here. This is TVE with the Crime Dog, Fred McGriff, episode 316. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, everybody, that is the show. Thank you so much to my amazing guest, Fred McGriff, the Crime Dog. It was so cool to sit here and talk with Fred like that. So that's it for the show. And please do not forget to check out Fred and Kenny Mayne's parody of the Tom Amansky video from years ago, which is about Chassis. And it's hilarious. You guys could check it out on my Twitter. I'm going to have it all on my social media, so you guys could check out that video. It's such a cool Chassis commercial with, again, Kenny Mayne and Fred McGriff. So please check that out. And until next time, I am out of here. Take care.